the one masculine habit women find ridiculously hot, and 10 ways to show it. Old Stoic wisdom. What if I told you that the most captivating thing you can show a woman has nothing to do with your wealth, appearance, or social status, but everything to do with the way you carry yourself? Too many men miss this key truth. They waste years chasing women with extravagant gifts, endless compliments, or the constant need to prove their worth, only to wonder why the spark fades or why they can't capture her attention in the way they desire. Perhaps you've experienced this yourself. You give it your all, trying to impress, trying to earn approval, but deep down, something feels off. Instead of drawing her closer, your efforts seem to push her away. Here's the core truth. Women aren't looking for constant validation or grand gestures. What truly fuels their attraction is something far subtler, yet infinitely more compelling. It's not about doing more, it's about being more. There's one deeply masculine trait, an energy so natural that it shifts the way she reacts to you without a word being spoken. This powerful habit was understood by the Stoics long before modern psychology caught up. They recognized that strength, presence, and emotional control are magnetic forces that draw women in. Not the man who seeks validation, but the one who simply is. In this guide, we'll explore the #1 masculine habit women find irresistibly attractive and how to integrate it into your daily routine. Once you understand this, you won't have to chase, convince, or beg for attention. She'll feel it. Let's dive in. The best thing to hold on to in life is each other. Audrey Hepburn. 1. Stop apologizing. Let's face it, too many men apologize far too much. And it's not the kind of apology that counts. We're talking about those constant, unnecessary sorries, the ones for merely existing, speaking, or sharing your thoughts. The truth is, each time you over-apologize, you're not showing humility or kindness. You're showing weakness. You're signaling that you don't believe in your own value. Women don't find this attractive. They find it draining. A man who apologizes for every little thing, for simply taking up space, projects a lack of confidence. He becomes someone seeking approval rather than commanding respect. Picture this Ethan, 27, from Austin. He's got it all: a great job, a fit physique, a sharp sense of humor. But when he's around women, it's like he's allergic to self-assurance. He apologizes for everything. A coffee date with a woman turns into a stream of "I'm sorry" comments. Sorry, I don't eat much sugar, or sorry if my opinion sounds dumb. By the end of the night, what does she see? Hesitation, indecisiveness, and weakness. She doesn't feel any fire, any grounded masculinity that would pull her in. Madison, a woman he was dating, later confided in her friends that while Ethan was sweet, there was no spark. Why? Because he was always second-guessing himself, never fully present in the moment. That kind of energy doesn't make women lean in. Instead, it makes them feel like they have to take the lead. Now, contrast that with the stoic strength that women crave. They want a man who owns his space, not one who seeks to apologize for it. Women respond to grounded energy, the kind that doesn't need constant reassurance. The ancient Stoic philosophers understood this principle deeply. As Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. That's the essence of what you need to embody. Stop apologizing for your presence. Instead, show up with intention, with purpose, and with confidence. But don't get it twisted. Being stoic doesn't mean being cold or unaccountable. Stoic principles teach us to be men of integrity, men who take responsibility for their actions. Accountability is crucial, but there's a clear distinction between that and compulsive apologizing. Accountability is about owning your mistakes and correcting them. Yes, I messed up. Let me fix it. On the other hand, over-apologizing is simply signaling that you feel like an intruder in your own life. Sorry I'm here. Sorry for taking up space. One inspires respect, the other drains it. How do you break free from this habit? Start by becoming aware. Pause before that word "sorry" escapes your lips. Replace it with strength. Instead of saying, Sorry I'm late. Say, thanks for waiting. Instead of sorry for bothering you, say, do you have a minute? It's these small shifts that reframe your energy. They signal calm, self-respect, and masculine certainty, qualities that women find undeniably attractive. When you stop apologizing, you'll notice the change. Women may not explicitly recognize it, but they'll feel it. And trust me, they'll be drawn to the shift in your energy. So, here's your challenge. Next time you catch yourself apologizing unnecessarily, remember this. No more excuses. Own your space. Stand tall in your masculinity. And remember the Stoic mindset that brings this all together. Iron mind, iron will. You don't need to apologize for simply being a man. Now, drop a comment below and declare, I own my space. This is your declaration of power, a reminder that you no longer apologize for being you. Stay tuned, because the next powerful mindset shift we'll discuss will change the way women see you. And it's not about what you say. It's about something far deeper. Number 2, lead, don't chase. One of the most common mistakes men make when it comes to women is chasing. You know exactly what I mean. Constantly texting first, planning everything, trying to convince her to spend time with you. The harder you chase, the faster she runs. Sound familiar? Here's the thing. Women are not wired to respond to chasing. They respond to leading. Chasing comes from a place of insecurity. It's rooted in that desperate mindset that says, I need to prove my value to her. I need her to like me. Leading, however, comes from a place of rock-solid confidence. It says, I already know my value. I'm inviting you into my world, but whether you join me or not, I'm still moving forward. That shift in energy, it changes everything. Think about it like this. Chasing puts you in a reactive position. You're following her cues, constantly reacting to her moods, and letting her dictate the rhythm of the relationship. Leading, on the other hand, positions you firmly in your natural masculine role. You set the direction, you create the frame, you invite her to step into it. And here's the truth. Women respect that. It's not about control, it's about clarity. The Stoics understood this principle to the core. Epictetus once said, no man is free who is not master of himself. When you're chasing, you're not mastering yourself. You're letting someone else's attention or rejection dictate your emotional state. But when you lead, you remain centered. You create structure. You make decisions. You live with purpose. This is the energy that makes women lean in. Now, let's get practical. Leading doesn't mean being pushy or arrogant. It means taking initiative with confidence and perhaps, most importantly, calmness. Instead of begging, asking 10 times if she wants to hang out, you step up and say, I'm going to check out this new spot Thursday at 8. Join me if you want. See the difference. It's an invitation, not a plea. You've set the frame, and she gets to decide if she wants to step into it. If she declines, that's fine. You're still going. If she accepts she's entering your world, not the other way around. Here's the kicker when you lead. Attraction builds naturally. Women don't fantasize about men who beg for attention. They fantasize about men who stand tall in themselves, men who create direction, men who don't crumble when a woman says no. Deep down, women want to feel both safe and excited in your presence. And that's what leadership provides. Safety comes from your grounded energy. Excitement comes from your ability to guide the moment. But here's something that most men miss. Leading isn't just about planning dates. It's about emotional leadership too. If she's being dramatic or testing your patience, don't get pulled into the chaos. Hold steady. Guide the tone of the interaction. Show her that her emotional storm doesn't shake your foundation. That's true leadership. Here's a mindset shift that will completely change your game. Stop asking, how can I get her to like me, and start asking, how can I invite her into my life as I already live it? This shift takes you out of scarcity and into abundance. You're no longer chasing approval. You're leading with purpose, with vision. So, here's your challenge. The next time you feel the urge to chase, pause, ask yourself, am I leading or am I reacting? If it's the latter, shift gears. Women notice this. They may not say it directly, but trust me, they feel the difference when you're the man who leads, not the boy who chases. And here's a way to lock this concept into your mindset. Drop a comment below with the phrase, "I lead my life." That's your declaration, your reminder that chasing ends today. Stay tuned. What we're about to dive into next will reshape your understanding of attraction itself. It goes beyond logic and dives deep into the raw emotional core of desire. Number 3, attraction without need. The one masculine habit women find irresistibly attractive is the ability to be self-sufficient, to exist without the need for validation. It's a truth most men are too afraid to face. Desperation kills attraction. When you are constantly checking your phone, analysing every text, bending over backward to win her approval, you're not building attraction, you're smothering it. Women can sense neediness from a mile away. When they feel you need them more than you desire them, the mystery is gone. The attraction evaporates. Attraction thrives in freedom, not pressure. So, take a moment, reflect, and ask yourself, are you seeking validation, or are you simply living your life on your own terms? This concept is exactly what the Stoics like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius meant when they spoke of self-sufficiency. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." If your sole ambition is to gain her affection, you've already set yourself up for failure. But if your ambition is to grow, to build, to conquer life on your own terms, you project an energy that women can't ignore. This is the secret to mastering attraction. When you are whole without her, you become the man she can't resist. Take the story of Brian, a 28-year-old graphic designer. At first, he was a man of value, but soon, as he became too obsessed with Emily, a woman he'd been dating, his neediness began to show. He sent constant texts, questioning why she wasn't replying right away. On their dates, he asked over and over if she was having fun, if she liked him, and if they'd see each other again. While he thought he was showing interest, all he was really doing was putting pressure on her. Women don't respond to pressure, they retreat from it. Emily pulled away, and Brian was left confused. Then, Brian realised his mistake. He stopped focusing on Emily, stopped making her the centre of his life. He returned to his passions, design, fitness, and his friends. The energy he now exuded wasn't about seeking her approval, it was about living fully. The result, Emily noticed the shift and reached back out, curious to see what had changed. The man who no longer needed her became the man she wanted to be around. Women are not drawn to men who treat them as the prize that completes their existence. They are attracted to men who are already complete, men who see women as an addition to their world, not the centre of it. True confidence is magnetic. It's the man who says, "I'd love for you to be here, but I don't need you to be here." Epictetus would affirm, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you lead with confidence, when you stop seeking validation, you'll see attraction grow effortlessly. Next time you feel that urge to text her twice or over-explain why you're a great catch, stop. Ask yourself, am I acting from desire or need? Lead from desire, and you'll attract her. Lead from need, and you'll push her away. Remember, the man who doesn't need her is the man she finds irresistible. Confidence, not desperation, is the key. So, let this lesson sink in. Repeat after me. I need nothing. That is the declaration of a man who wins at life and love, as Epictetus would say. No man is free who is not master of himself. Take control of your own world, and you'll master attraction. Number 4, interest, not approval. One of the biggest mistakes men make when interacting with women is mistaking approval for genuine interest. They believe that if they get a woman's approval, if she laughs at their jokes, compliments their looks, or affirms their worth, then attraction will naturally follow. But that's a flawed assumption. Approval does not equal desire. Approval is just surface level, while true attraction is rooted much deeper. Think about it when you're seeking approval. You're essentially asking, tell me I'm good enough. You're waiting for her to stamp you with validation, like you're seeking permission to be attractive. On the other hand, when you're sparking interest, you're saying, "Here I am. Let's see if you can keep up." It's a subtle but profound difference. Interest pulls her in, while approval-seeking pushes her away. The old Stoic wisdom here is clear. Don't live for external validation. True value comes from within. Epictetus, a Stoic master, once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In essence, if you're constantly chasing approval, you're sacrificing your authenticity. This holds true in dating as well. Seeking approval from a woman is nothing more than an illusion of control. A woman might offer you approval out of politeness, but genuine interest is something she feels on a deeper, instinctual level. It's not about earning points or checking boxes. It's about creating an emotional experience that resonates with her. When a man seeks approval, he bends his behavior around her, adjusting his tone, telling more jokes, buying another round, all in an attempt to win her favor. But a man who understands the dynamics of attraction doesn't play for approval. He doesn't need to work overtime to prove he's good enough. Instead, he sparks curiosity by being grounded, playful, or unpredictable. This is why many men find themselves frustrated. They might think, "But she laughed at my jokes. She called me sweet. She said I was nice. Why didn't she want more?" The answer is simple. She gave approval, not interest. Approval is safe. It's a polite way of saying, "You're fine." But fine doesn't stir desire. It doesn't keep her up at night thinking about you. Genuine interest does. So, how do you create interest instead of begging for approval? It all starts with your presence. You must show genuine curiosity about her, not because you're trying to impress her, but because you are confident in who you are. When you don't rush to win her over, when you allow silence and space to unfold, you show that you are comfortable with yourself. Interest grows from tension, from the unknown, and from the subtle sparks of polarity. Approval, however, withers in predictability. The Stoic principle of detachment from external validation can be a game-changer here. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them knows anything about the subject." In relationships, this translates to approval is worthless if it doesn't stem from genuine attraction. You don't need her yes to feel valuable. Instead, you must embody the kind of man who doesn't measure his worth based on her current opinion. Here's the paradox when you stop chasing approval. Interest naturally blooms. The moment you stop asking, "Am I enough?" and start showing, "This is who I am," you create a space where she can feel desire for you. Women are not turned on by compliance. They are turned on by presence, by energy, by a man who knows his worth without needing her to affirm it. So, what will it be? Will you continue chasing approval? Or will you embrace the Stoic principles of self-assurance, becoming the kind of man who sparks interest instead of seeking validation? If you're ready to embody the iron mind and Stoic principles, declare it loud and clear, "I choose interest." That's the energy that pulls women in, not the desperate need for approval. Watch as this subtle shift in your mindset transforms how women respond to you before you even open your mouth. Number 5. Calm desire wins. When most men think about attraction, they assume it's all about loud energy, flashy moves, or aggressive pursuit. They think desire has to look like a wildfire, blazing, inescapable, and demanding attention. But let's get one thing straight. Calm desire wins. Yes, calm desire. The type of presence that shows interest without chaos, attraction without desperation. Calm desire is magnetic because it communicates control. It shows that you're not simply acting on impulse, but acting with intention. You want her, but you're not consumed by the need to have her. This difference changes everything. Picture this Chris, 29, from Chicago. He's on his second date with Emily, 27, and he's nervous. Instead of relaxing, he overcompensates, talking too much, laughing too hard, fidgeting with his drink. In his mind, the more energy he puts out, the more she'll feel the attraction. But here's the reality. Emily feels tension, not excitement, but pressure, like she's under a spotlight, trying to match his frantic energy. That kind of energy doesn't spark attraction, it smothers it. Now, imagine if Chris took a different approach. Instead of trying to fill every silence with words, he allowed the pauses. Instead of staring too intensely, he softened his gaze. Instead of jumping from one topic to the next, he leaned back, listened, and let the calmness of his interest guide the conversation. Emily would feel something different, not pressure, but safety, not chaos, but a gentle pull. His calm desire would signal strength, confidence, and self-control. Desire is not about flooding her with attention. It's about giving her the space to feel your presence. Women can sense when a man is calm in his attraction. It's a quiet yet powerful signal that says, "I'm here, but I'm not frantic. I'm steady." When you show calm desire, you give her room to lean in, match your energy, and enjoy the dynamic without feeling suffocated. It's about inviting her into the space between you, not forcing her into it. And here's the kicker. Calm desire doesn't just attract, it amplifies trust. When you demonstrate that your attraction is neither frantic nor needy, she knows you won't lose yourself in the process. She knows you're steady and steadiness. It makes her feel safe enough to relax into her own feminine energy, deepening the chemistry between you two. Think of it this way. Calm desire equals inner power. It's no surprise that Stoic philosophy teaches this same principle. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic minds, wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." In relationships, this translates perfectly. Calm desire is not weakness. It's a mark of inner power. It's the balance between wanting and waiting, leading and listening. It's attraction without fear. Remember the last time you felt deeply drawn to someone but didn't rush. You didn't pressure. You didn't perform. You simply were. That stillness, that quiet confidence, probably felt more powerful than any flashy line or overly eager gesture. That's because women are drawn to calmness. It creates mystery. It leaves room for imagination. And imagination is the fuel that drives attraction. You must master the art of calm desire. Now, if you've been caught up in the trap of thinking you need to prove your desire, it's time to step back. Let it show in the steadiness of your eyes, the quiet of your silences, the way you lean in without collapsing into her space. Let her feel your presence more than your performance. Calm desire wins because it doesn't demand. It invites. Don't make the mistake of thinking desire is about proving it with frantic energy. Be calm, be steady, be magnetic. If you found this valuable, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more timeless wisdom. Comment to remember, I choose calm. This is your commitment to embracing calm desire, the quiet confidence that attracts without rushing. Let's build that steady presence and watch how your energy transforms your relationships. Number 6, be the poet. Be the poet. When most men hear this phrase, they picture themselves reciting verses or impressing others with their vocabulary. But that's not the essence of being the poet. It's about embodying poetic energy, speaking with depth, presence, and emotion that lingers in the air long after you've finished talking. The key is not in the words, but in how you say them. Too often, men rely on logic to make connections, thinking that clear explanations about their careers or achievements will win a woman over. But attraction isn't built on logic. It's built on the heart, on the senses, and on the atmosphere you create. That's where the poet comes in. The poet doesn't just speak. He paints pictures with words. Instead of saying, "That sunset looks nice," he says, "The sky is on fire tonight." Instead of asking, "How was your day?" he leans in and asks, "Tell me the moment that made you smile today." He doesn't just speak. He makes the world around him feel alive. Women remember how you made them feel, not what you said. Epictetus, the great Stoic, once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." When applied to the art of speaking, it means that your words must carry the weight of intention. You don't just say things to impress. You let the energy of your words come from your soul. That's where real power lies. This isn't about trying too hard or speaking in riddles. In fact, trying too hard kills the magic. The poet doesn't force beauty into his words. He notices the beauty in the world around him and lets it flow naturally. When you notice the way her eyes light up when she laughs, or how her voice softens when she speaks about something she loves, and you reflect that back to her, that's the poetry. Being the poet means slowing down. Too many men rush through conversations. They talk too fast, interrupt, and fill every silence with noise. But the poet knows that silence itself has its own beauty. The pause before you speak, the weight of your words, and the focus you give her when she shares her thoughts. That's what makes an interaction unforgettable. Think about the last time someone said something simple, but it stayed with you for days. Maybe it was the way they noticed something no one else did, or the timing and softness in their delivery. That's the essence of being the poet. It's not about fancy vocabulary or flashy words. It's about resonance. And here's the deeper truth. Being the poet also connects you to your own emotions. Most men are taught to be tough and suppress their feelings, but women can sense when a man isn't afraid to feel. They find it irresistible when a man can express emotion yet maintain his strength. That's the paradox of masculinity, the balance of strength and vulnerability, something that Stoic philosophers like Epictetus understood well. To practice being the poet, start small. Pay attention to the beauty in your surroundings and describe it in a way that evokes emotion. Slow down, listen more deeply, speak with intention, and most importantly, let her feel the weight of your attention. You don't need to be a writer to be the poet. You just need to notice life more vividly and let it flow through your words and energy. The poet doesn't try to impress. He inspires. He doesn't chase. He creates a space where attraction can breathe. So ask yourself, are your words noise or are they music? Let them resonate. Let them inspire. The poet doesn't just speak. He makes the world around him come alive. Number 7. Presence over words. Presence, not words, is the ultimate key to attracting a woman. Too many men mistakenly believe that what they say is what wins a woman's heart. They stress over perfect pickup lines, trying to impress with witty banter or a perfectly timed joke. But here's the truth. Attraction isn't about the words you say. It's about how you show up. Your presence speaks louder than 1,000 sentences ever could. Women don't remember every word you say, but they do remember how you make them feel when they're with you. Let's take David, for example, a 29-year-old from Chicago. He's bright, engaging, and has a knack for carrying on a conversation. But here's the problem. He's uncomfortable with silence. Every pause, every moment of stillness is filled with more chatter, explanations, jokes, unnecessary comments. On the surface, it might seem like a good time, but Emily, his date, starts to feel like she's not connecting with him. Instead, she feels like he's just performing. Now, imagine the scene shifts to a different guy. Mark, at a gathering with friends, barely says a word, but when he does, he's deliberate. He listens deeply, asks thoughtful questions, and gives Emily space to speak. He maintains steady eye contact, nods when appropriate, and doesn't interrupt her. His calm, centered presence makes her feel like the most important person in the room. Mark didn't need to say much, but his grounded presence was magnetic. And when Emily got home, it wasn't the man who talked incessantly that she thought about. It was the man who simply was there, who made her feel valued and seen. That's the essence of true attraction. It's not about saying the right thing. It's about being the right presence. The truth is, women feel most secure, attracted, and drawn to men who are comfortable in their own skin. When you're anxious, desperate to impress, your energy becomes scattered. It's obvious, even if you manage to disguise it with confident words. She can feel your nervousness even if you're telling her how great you are. On the other hand, when you're calm, centered, and at ease with yourself, your presence speaks volumes. She senses your strength without you having to say a word. The Stoic principles echo this truth. Marcus Aurelius once said, The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Simply put, who you are internally, the peace or chaos within you, will color the energy you radiate. If you're constantly frantic inside, that energy will leak out, no matter how smooth your words may seem. But when you're steady, grounded, and purposeful, she can feel it before you even speak. You can't fake presence, it comes from within. And here's the mistake many men make. They believe they need to say something profound to make an impact. But presence isn't about silence, it's about depth. The words you choose to speak are far more powerful when they are deliberate and not buried in an avalanche of unnecessary chatter. Women are incredibly perceptive when it comes to energy. They know when you're truly listening or when you're just waiting for your turn to speak. So how can you cultivate presence? It starts by slowing down. When she talks, don't be preoccupied with thinking about your response. Focus on listening. When there's silence, don't panic. Let the moment breathe. Hold eye contact with calm, not desperation. Ground yourself by focusing on your breath, your body, and the present moment. The more rooted you are, the more magnetic you become. Let's revisit David. Imagine if he had simply stopped filling the silence with nervous chatter. If, instead, he had asked one thoughtful question and then listened, smiling, engaging only when necessary, letting the silence hang between them. Emily would have felt a deeper connection. The conversation would have shifted from feeling like a performance to an authentic connection. What you need to understand is that women are not drawn to the man who talks the most or the loudest. They are drawn to the man whose presence is undeniably powerful, a man who is comfortable with silence, who doesn't rush to fill every gap with words, but lets his presence speak for him. So ask yourself, are you constantly trying to impress by talking too much? Are you filling the air instead of simply being present? If you're ready to shift and let your presence do the heavy lifting, say it loud and clear. I choose presence. Let that be your declaration, your commitment to embracing the calm strength that attracts without effort. And trust me, you'll soon find that the next step is creating a magnetic tension, one that pulls her closer without you even needing to ask. Stay tuned, because this journey is far from over. Number 8, the power of silence. One of the most underrated masculine traits you can develop is the ability to embrace silence. Don't mistake it for weakness or awkwardness. It's not. Silence is a force. Most men, they fear it. They think the moment the air is quiet, they're losing her interest. That's the problem. They scramble to fill the space with more words, stories, jokes, anything to avoid a pause. But here's the truth. Silence isn't your enemy. Silence is your ally. In fact, silence can be more seductive than 1,000 clever lines. Women are incredibly perceptive. They can feel when a man is at ease in his own skin, and they can feel when he's scrambling, desperate for her approval. When you can hold silence confidently, you communicate something magnetic. You're not needy, you're grounded, you're not afraid of space, and that alone sparks attraction in a way most men never understand. Think about this for a second. A pause between sentences, a steady gaze, a calm, knowing smile. These subtle acts speak volumes. They show you're not desperate for attention. You're not trying to fill the void with unnecessary chatter. You're in control. When you're in control of yourself, you naturally take the lead in the interaction. That's what she's drawn to. That's what makes you stand out. The Stoics were masters at understanding the power of silence. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "Silence is safer than speech." What he meant wasn't that you should never speak, but rather that silence often protects you from revealing your weaknesses or saying something you don't mean. And when it comes to attraction, silence is your shield. It gives you the space to think, to breathe, to observe her. You're not reacting impulsively, you're responding intentionally. That's the practical stoicism you can apply in everyday life. Let's be clear. Silence doesn't mean being passive or cold. It doesn't mean shutting down or ignoring her. It means being comfortable enough with yourself that you don't need to perform. You show her that you can simply be, and that your presence has weight, even without saying a word. This is where you truly tap into the paths of wisdom. Now, here's the real magic. When you embrace silence, paired with strong body language, it amplifies your power. A relaxed posture, steady breathing, and calm eye contact. These all reinforce your silence. They show that you're not nervous or fidgety, that you're in control of yourself. That's the difference between silence that feels tense and uncomfortable and silence that feels magnetic. When you finally speak, your words carry so much more weight. You haven't drowned her in endless chatter. Your words now feel deliberate, intentional, and strong. Every sentence you say hits harder because you've given her time to process the silence. Instead of trying to prove yourself, you've allowed your silence to build anticipation, making her eager to hear what comes next. Here's the kicker. Women are not drawn to the man who talks the most. They're drawn to the man who can create an emotional charge without saying a word. The man whose silence leaves her wondering what he's thinking. The man who can hold space without cracking under the pressure. That's the mystery. And mystery fuels attraction. So, here's the lesson for you. Stop fearing silence. Don't rush to fill it. Instead, learn to lean into it. Let her feel your calm presence. Let her wonder what's going on in your mind. Let her invest in the space you create. The silence itself becomes the source of your strength. That's the difference between being just another guy in the room and becoming the man she can't stop thinking about. Number 9. Stillness creates heat. The one habit women find ridiculously attractive, and one that many men overlook, is stillness. It's not about doing more, not more talking, not more showing off, not more chasing. It's about doing less. Stillness is an energy, a powerful force that pulls a woman toward you without a single word. When a man stands composed, grounded, and calm, he exudes an undeniable confidence that women can't resist. This isn't the fake, desperate confidence of someone trying to prove himself. No, this is true mastery over oneself, rooted in who he is. And that mastery is magnetic. It creates a heat women feel, even before they're aware of it. Think about it. In the chaotic world around us, stillness is the ultimate form of control. It's what Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, would call the strength of the inner man, the one who is unshaken by external circumstances. It's not about dominating the space you're in. It's about commanding it through your presence alone. Take James, for example. He's at a rooftop bar in Chicago, surrounded by friends. He's not scrambling to fill the silence, not darting between groups trying to impress, not scanning the room for approval. Instead, he leans back, sips his drink slowly, and watches the energy around him. He isn't rushing, because he knows that the right energy cannot be rushed. When Sarah, a woman at the bar, walks over, she's drawn to his stillness, to the energy he holds without effort. She leans in, intrigued by his quiet confidence. This is the heat of stillness. It's not passive, it's active. It's not about doing nothing, but about making space for tension and desire to grow. You see, stillness is a deliberate act. It's holding your ground when everyone else is running around, desperately seeking attention. It's not about trying to fill every moment with words or actions. It's about holding space. When you relax, slow your breathing, and maintain steady eye contact, you communicate more with that simple stillness than any pickup line ever could. Attraction isn't about motion, it's about energy. And when you master stillness, you don't just stand out, you become irresistible. It's a power that, when harnessed, burns brighter than any man scrambling for attention. Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in controlling our inner world, and mastering stillness is a cornerstone of that strength. Don't underestimate it. It's not passive. It's a fire that burns quietly but fiercely. So, take control of your energy. Stand firm. The heat you create by doing less will make her want to step closer. That is how you master life. That is how you win. Number 10. Unforgettable without trying. Here's the truth when a man truly embraces his masculine presence. Being unforgettable happens naturally. It's not forced. He doesn't need to stage grand performances or deliver flashy stories to make a lasting impact. The energy he radiates stays long after the conversation ends, leaving a deep impression. Many men believe that being memorable means making huge gestures or entertaining constantly, but those things fade quickly. What women actually remember is the feeling you leave behind, not the noise or spectacle. They'll forget the exact words you spoke, but they'll always recall how you made them feel in those quiet, powerful moments. Women remember the stillness of your confidence, the calm that surrounds you, and the authenticity you exude. Imagine this: she may not remember every word you said, but she'll never forget how you looked her in the eyes and held that gaze, as if you were both in the only place that mattered. She might not recall the exact route you walked together, but she will always feel the strength of your presence as you moved beside her. It's the sense of grounded certainty you carry that makes all the difference. This is the essence of Stoic principles at play. Having an iron mind, rooted in calm assurance, makes you unforgettable without effort. Take Michael, for example. At 32, he spent years overcompensating. He cracked jokes and tried to be the life of the party, hoping humour would make him stand out. But after a while, he realised that women would laugh, have a good time, and then simply forget about him. It was only when he stopped trying to perform, started listening more, and allowed his calm, masculine energy to take the lead that the real change happened. Emily, 28, later told him, "I don't know why, but I couldn't stop thinking about you." That, right there, is the definition of being unforgettable. It bypasses the mind and sinks into the body. It's visceral. The Stoics understood this on a profound level. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts." When your inner world is solid, unshaken, and grounded in Stoic principles, every interaction is coloured by that unshakable strength. You don't need to force a memory to be made, you simply become it. Being unforgettable isn't about adding more or trying harder. It's about subtraction. It's about removing the need to impress and standing so firmly in your own presence that she feels the weight of it. The less you chase, the more she remembers. The less you force, the stronger the imprint you leave. You must learn to embody this, not to convince or perform. When you embrace this Stoic approach, you'll be the man she thinks about long after the night is over. She won't be able to shake you because your energy spoke louder than words ever could. Alright guys, that's a wrap for today's video. I hope you found some valuable insights here. And I truly believe that adopting these habits can make a huge difference in how you connect with others and how they see you. So, here's the thing. If you really want to stand out and be that guy women find ridiculously attractive, it's all about cultivating self-control, emotional resilience, and acting with purpose. Stick to these Stoic principles and show your worth, not just through words, but through your actions. Trust me, women notice a man who doesn't need to impress anyone but himself. So, take a deep breath, stay grounded, and take on the world with that quiet confidence. It's the most powerful thing you can do. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video useful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Until next time, keep improving and living with purpose. Peace.